question. Number 653, right below that, increasing authorization to county council to settle tort claims and lawsuits filed against the county in the amount of $35,000 or less. I see the advantage of that. Well, let me ask you what the advantage of it is. And to me, it looks like it's at least saving legal costs to have like a knee-jerk reaction into the settlement of a lot of these smaller claims. I guess you're increasing the threshold. The question is, I mean, this seems to be like an open checkbook, and I mean, does anybody get to actually see what's going on now with all these settlements, $35,000 or less, and how does the public actually see something like that?
Resolution 653 concerning the tort claims threshold, county council varies.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are a number of reasons why providing this number. Some time ago, the board increased the authorization to 15, and the reality is that $15,000 in today's market just basically does not settle cases. Being able to make offers early on in cases save us money in terms of defense work. It also assists us in settling cases early on that are fee shifting. Oftentimes it's very difficult to settle litigation when you get far into a case after an attorney in a fee shifting case has incurred many, many hours, and oftentimes those settlements are more generated by counsel fees than by actual the claim itself and the damages. So those are two of the main reasons why they were increased. The amount is being proposed to increase so that we can settle these cases earlier. The number of cases, even at that amount, will be nominal. Probably this year, if this resolution had existed, it might have assisted in settling 2 or 3 cases. That's about it.
Thank you.
And just that one resolution, 653. A few questions on that. That's the $35,000 amendment. That amended 2015-334, which was passed April last year, 2015, and it had a $15,000 limit. And that resolution amended 64798. So, first question is, I assume it hasn't been changed in 1998 before it was changed in 2015. What was the old limit that was in effect from 98 to all the way there? And that's the first one. The second question on that is, it appears that, is there any way for the public to check on this? In the past, if it was under whatever that limit was, or 15,000 the last year, there'd be a resolution here. I assume there's going to be no resolution, nothing reported, anything under 35,000 is going to go, and the freeholders won't, or more importantly, the public isn't going to know anything about it. Is that the case, or will there be a mention of it? That's the second question. The third question is, well, it said 2 or 3 between this, but how many were actually impacted in the last year? This 2015 resolution was passed over a year ago, and it raised it to 15,000. How many cases were settled for under 15,000? And were they settled without freeholder knowledge, pretty much? I mean, was there any reporting or whatever? And the last question is on the specific one. You can see these settlements in the check registry, and it's kind of hard to keep up because there's a lot of numbers, but occasionally they pop up. And on March 16th, 2016, there was a check made out to the law office of Walter M. Luers regarding a legal settlement for $10,000. So it looks like this $10,000, I mean, this is an example going back to the last question. This $10,000 fell under that resolution last year. It probably would have popped up and somebody would have seen that payout in March 2016, but they didn't. So on that part, first specifically, what is that? What was that case? $10,000 to Walter Luers. I think Luers got a few got some money before. He got $40,000 in 2015 for another case, which actually made the resolution thing. What was that exactly for? And again, going back to 3, how many are impacted? And out of curiosity, did the freeholders know that this was settled to Walter Luers? I mean, this kind of ties into the other question, are you going to be told about settlements? Did you actually know about this one, which, settled March 16th, and according to 334, they didn't have to tell anybody about it. So I was just curious to see if you knew that Walter Luers got $10,000 for something, and what that was about. So that's it. Sorry about the number, but thank you.
To answer one of your early questions, the original amount was $5,000, and then we raised $15,000, and then quite frankly, it became clear to a number of the freeholders that we were just spending too much legal time on cases that could be settled early on, as our county council explained. And this really, being an attorney and being involved in litigation, it is of a great advantage for an attorney to be able to say to an adversary and a judge, I have money I can offer today. You don't have to wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks for it to go back to the freeholder board and have them vote on it. And so it was certainly my belief, and the freeholder board is considering that $35,000 is a reasonable amount of money to give the authority to our council to settle cases that can be settled early and for less. And I'll turn to the county council for a couple of the other specific questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With reference to how many were settled last year under the 15 cap, I'd be shocked if it was more than 3. I'm thinking of 1 or 2 that I can think of. The Luers case, that was awarded a council fee, that was an Oprah case. That was settled for that amount, and it did not involve a resolution.
Any other member of the public wishing to